Hi all, happy Thanksgiving. Today happens to be Thanksgiving. I'm currently in bed in the master bedroom, and the reason I am in the master bedroom is I'm getting over the flu, and I overdid it a little bit yesterday, so I'm taking today off. My husband and I are going to celebrate Thanksgiving, but we're going to celebrate it a day later. So I'm going to do the turkey and the stuffing and everything else tomorrow. I did get the stuff that I needed to get done yesterday done, and it just wore me out to the point where I couldn't cook today. And you can tell that I'm coughing and I have a stuffy nose still, so I'm still recovering from the flu. So forgive me if I pause here and there or if I cough, getting through the videos that I'm trying to film. So I've got some exciting news coming for the new year, and that is I'm no longer going to do the cooking channel, which I kind of made mention a couple of months ago. And the real reason is Bob is still recovering from his stroke, and I don't want to inconvenience him anymore, nor does he have any interest in being filmed anymore. So, that being said, all of the videos are going to take place upstairs in the guest room, which is right now a mess. I'm going to work on that in December, cleaning that out so we can get ready for the crafting segment that I hope to start sometime mid-January. Now, the reason I said mid-January is I have a few things that are going on in January at the beginning of the month that I need to address and get done with. I have a couple of projects. I'm going to show you one that I'm working on right now. And this is called the Painted Triangle Shawl, which I am working on. And there is the pattern for this. We're going to discuss patterns. We're going to discuss knitting, what the difference between knitting and crocheting are. And I'm going to show you, this is a crochet hook. These are knitting needles. So knitting needles on the red cord are for knitting. Hook is for crocheting. We're going to discuss what both do, what projects you can do with both of these. If you are new to crafting, welcome. We're going to discuss everything you need to get started. We're going to hopefully have a great year. I'm going to teach you how to read patterns, what to look for when you're buying needles or crochet hooks. And yes, there is a lot of stuff to learn and to buy to get started, because crafting can be an expensive hobby, but we're going to make it a not so stressful hobby as it was for me when I first started. We're also going to discuss the different types of yarn, and yes, yarn is different, has different weights, and each weight has a different purpose. And there are several different weights of yarn. Everything from lace weight to chunky, and we're going to talk about what different yarns can be used for in different projects, what yarns you might want to look for if you are going to be knitting or crocheting, and what projects you might want to consider doing. We're going to learn how to read patterns, and yes, we can learn that. Leave me down below a comment if you have knitted before, if you have crocheted, if you're a good knitter, meaning if you've knitted quite a bit, if you've crocheted quite a bit, that way I can judge where we need to start. If you're new and want to learn how to crochet or knit, I'm going to give you a disclaimer right now. I can teach you how to crochet. Knitting is going to be a totally different thing because I knit left-handed. I also am an English knitter. Now, we'll get into terminologies with knitting. Knitting is a lot different than crocheting is. So a lot of people wonder, are they the same thing? No, they're not. They're actually two entirely different things. But can you get the same end results? Yes, but they're going to look different because, like I said, crocheting is different than knitting. Now, can you wear something that's crocheted? Of course you can. You can make jackets, you can make sweaters, you can make different outfits to wear crocheting. Knitting is going to be the same thing. You can make sweaters, hats, scarves, jackets, cardigans. There's a lot of different things that you can do knitting that you can do crocheting. So that being said, after the first of the year, we'll get into that. One thing I'm going to suggest, if you are going to be interested in knitting, on YouTube, if you type in your toolbar or your search bar, put in beginner's knitting. Now, this is the disclaimer, because I'm a left-handed knitter, everything that I do is going to look really weird to a right-handed person because I am mirror imaging a right-handed person. So everything is going to be backwards for you guys if I teach you how to knit. And that being said, when you knit, and there are always going to be two needles, and I've got to turn my work, and of course it's on the wrong side. So I'm going to turn it as if it's the right side. So most right-handed knitters will have all of their working yarn in their left hand, and they will end up working it so that it ends up on the right needle. But for me, as the left-handed knitter, everything starts on my right side and it transfers to the left, and I go right to left, whereas a right-handed knitter will go left to right. So it's opposite of what I do. So just type beginning knitter or beginning knitting in the toolbar on YouTube and put in right-handed. And there are going to be a ton of good videos that will teach you how to get started knitting. Now, I also suggest that you start looking for local yarn shops. Now, there is a difference between a yarn shop versus a big box store. Now, the big box stores would be Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, any place that sells yarn in mass quantities or bulk yarn. Those stores you kind of want to stay away from when it comes to learning how to knit. And that's where a local yarn shop comes into play, and we will discuss the benefits of a local yarn shop versus a big box shop. And there is, believe me, a humongous difference. We're also going to discuss what you might want to look for getting started. If you've never knitted, if you've never crocheted, what you might want to start looking for, what you can expect to pay to begin. Because let me tell you, yarns and crafting are an expensive hobby, but they're a very relaxing, satisfying hobby when you finish projects. And we'll discuss that going forward. We're also going to discuss the tools that you're going to need, what things are used for. Like, for example, I'm going to try to hold that up, and you can kind of, it's harder to see. I'm going to see if I can put it down. There. What this is, and I'm going to turn it around so you guys can actually see. This is a stitch marker, and I'm going to teach you what they're used for, and where to get tools, where to stay away from buying tools, and what a beginner needs to get started with the project. Now, if you're at more advanced, whereas I am in an intermediate knitter, where you want to go for your needles, sets, and stuff like that, the different sizes of needles that are out there, what you would use them for. So we're going to get in all of that next year. I'm kind of excited to start that. I'm excited to show you projects that I finished, that I'm in the middle of, and that I'm working on. So stay tuned for next year, because it's going to be an exciting year. I know this election has a lot of us frazzled. This is a great way to just unwind, relax, go at your own pace, and let's have some fun making some really cool stuff. So, that's coming up after the first of the year. I'm excited to welcome you guys back to my channel, and I will see you guys after the new year. Happy holidays to all. Stay safe, stay well, enjoy cooking. Don't forget, you can always go back and watch my Cooking with Joel videos for recipes to get you through the winter months. And I will see you after the first of the year on my new... I'm trying to think how to word it. On my new crafting channel. So I'll see you guys in January.